Welcome to Unpopular Kids. Today we're talking about a Fantastic Four sequel. Oh my god, a new Five Nights at Freddy's game. Also, video games are better than movies. All this with MattPat and more!
Go.
Unpopular Kids Dance Party! Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Unpopular Kids, where we take some of the geeky news from the week and voice the unpopular opinion about them, thus making the internet hate us at times. I'm the Jovenshire. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I love you and everything that you do and everything about you. But it's not just me here on the show because I can talk for days, but I need help getting out a good thought, just like that one.
Get out good
To my
thought.
left, we have the very lovely NikoleZ. Yay, Nicole!
Thank you very much. Thank
Yay.
you. No more applause.
And quite the opposite of NikoleZ, we have Matt Raub.
Oh, that's me. That's my name. I'm the opposite of you. I'm Bizarro. I'm Zakol Nee.
I got all excited because I thought that you were wearing a weird Punisher shirt, but nope.
It's
Cats in
Cat
the
shirts,
Skulls.
bro.
That's cool.
And Casual Friday continues. My hype man for the evening.
He's also your hat
I
man.
am your hat man at the same time. FLitZ.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
And our very special guest, you guys have been asking for him since episode 1. We've got from Game Theorist MattPat.
Ah!
Hey, Matt.
That's Bizarro MattPat. There you go.
We got a really fun show. MattPat's here. I'm really excited. He brings beauty and intelligence. He's the whole package.
And Grace, he's Miss United States.
Yeah. Congratulations on finally getting it.
Thank you. Deflategate was a thing. Thank you.
So before we go into the everyone's favorite topic or thing that we do here on the show, we put up a little
You
symbol.
really do need us, buddy.
Yeah.
You really do. I think you might have stroked out.
Yeah.
Pal. Are you all right?
I talk faster than I think. Who let me host the show?
Get out
Anyways,
good thoughts good.
we're gonna go to JT to help us get a little on right there. Oh, that was magic. That was magic.
Oh.
But anytime if you want to skip to a specific story in this episode or a topic, we can go ahead and get that. We have an annotation here on the UN, and it'll take you to a menu where you can choose your topic and skip right to it. But why would you want to skip past the lightning round?
I'm just really concerned.
Ooh.
Hey.
Well done. There's like rock music.
Oh, wow.
See, and we
that
got
one's
the-
signed.
Yep. And that was who I can't.
Jesus Garcia.
Jesus Garcia. Thank you so much for sending us the lightning round bumper that we used today. Again, all of you can send us any bumper for any segment or different questions to ask us for lightning round. All you have to do is tweet us with the hashtag @UnpopularKids. Why is everyone doing things with their hands? That's just what I was doing.
Oh, that just reminded me of Destiny.
I just saw everyone just doing this with their hands.
Just lightning.
But yeah, tweet us with the hashtag #UnpopularKids. But hey.
I don't know.
So we're gonna go to lightning round now, MattPat. Just in case if you weren't aware, but I know you watch every episode, so you are aware.
Favorite
I've
show, we know.
gone to the internet and I've gotten questions for each one of us to ask. You'll have 10 seconds on the clock to answer it as best you can with your opinion, not someone else's.
All right.
All right.
This is your Pat Matt opinion time.
All right.
Pat, not a
Let me get one
theory, just opinion.
10 seconds
No
as opposed
truth,
to
no
15
facts.
minutes.
No
You know,
facts.
of
All
course.
right, I'm
yep.
gonna put 10 seconds on the clock after I read this for you from @CFPJ Sydney. What is the worst video game so far in 2015? And go.
Why does it have to start with me?
Guess.
I need time
5
to
seconds.
think.
You have no time. 5
Oh,
2 seconds. 1 second. Now we're gonna awkwardly stare at you until
Listen,
you
you
say
have
something.
to conjure your
Worst
Pat
game.
Matt. Where's Pat Matt? Think about this.
What games even came out this year?
Oh, God. I don't
Right?
know.
You were
Right?
nominated for best video game channel in the streaming.
Yeah, but I
You should know all video
I
games.
talk about like old
Say
video
Five Nights
games.
at Freddy's and let's move
No,
on.
I can't say Five Nights at Freddy's. I will be crucified. And really, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, see, there you
And
go.
really, honestly,
All right.
it wasn't that bad.
The
Give us
answer.
one. Give us any. Anything. First game you can think of.
Madden.
Sorry,
Sorry, Air Supremacy wasn't doing it for me. I didn't want to say because I did it with you guys.
Nah, it's all right.
I did it with you
We
guys.
had a great
but,
time with you.
know.
It's
Well, I
okay.
had a
You are subject to your opinions, and your opinions are your own.
Yes, thank
Your
you.
opinions are not subject to our opinions, or thus not our opinions. from saying that his opinions are his opinions and not our
Nor any
opinions.
brand integration dollars that may have flowed to Smash Game.
Next question, lightning round.
Flitz.
Flitz for you at classy_possum69.
That's a great name.
Who is your favorite villain and why would they beat everyone
My favorite villain in what?
in the world?
Ever.
My favorite
And
villain,
go.
why would they beat everyone? I would have to.
Keep going, keep going.
I would have to say Dr. Doom. Not only does he have Technos prowess, but he also has sorcerer prowess, and he utilizes them both effectively.
And he's a super genius. Well done.
Next up on lightning round, we have a question for Nicole from @MarkCosplay. VR is amazing, and if it was done right, what games would you want? My few: Yu-Gi-Oh, Gundam, or For Honor. And go.
Obvious choice, duh, Pokemon Snap, but in
Yeah.
VR, you can do this and you can like see pictures. Obvious
Pokemon
choice!
Snap.
But then also a game like Skyrim where I play a big RPG open world, but in a first person view.
Yeah, everything
Like
Skyrim.
this.
Yeah.
FNAF.
You have to robot it everywhere you go.
Well, this is
gotta
on
be.
the visor.
Oh yeah,
you're
obviously
right.
FNAF.
Right?
FNAF with VR. No. Lightning round. Next up for Matt Raub from @NoirNerd. And that's E with the 3.
The third.
Do you think Marvel will kill off Cap in Civil War or surprise us all by killing off Tony instead?
Well, it's weird because I feel like Chris Evans just renewed his contract, so he's got a bunch more movies. But from a creative standpoint, I would say absolutely that'd be awesome if they killed off Tony because he's already quit being Iron Man 6 times.
Every time.
Every time.
Every
I have
time.
a
He's
whole
like, okay,
theory.
guys, I'm done.
I have a whole theory, man. No. But I do the thing that bugs me is like literally they've been the Avengers for about 5 seconds. It's like we're the Avengers, we did it, and they're like, all right, guys, we're really tired of being the Avengers. We gotta break up. We gotta stop doing
For about,
this.
I don't know, 2 years. Seems like a good break. How about you? 2 years? Good. But I think they're going to kill Thor, and then Lady Sif's going to replace Thor.
Was it your turn?
Oh, Lady Thor.
I don't think it was your turn.
Oh, Matt Raub's trying to make
I like
rules.
it.
Actually, the rules are true. Pat, we're coming to you with the next next lightning round question from @Elijah the Woman, W Man.
Or Elijah Thuman.
That too. What is your opinion on the state of indie horror games today? 10 seconds. Go.
Fantastic and thriving. Done.
Nailed
I mean,
it.
that's my opinion. For once, horror games have a place.
Okay, that's the 10
No,
seconds.
I mean, that's the short 10-second answer, but the longer answer is like all of a sudden.
We don't get longer answers here in Lightning Round. It's called Lightning Round.
That's it.
Next up on
Yeah.
FLitZ is @MilesEdwards63.
No.
Go for it.
Hold the damn
Give the
clock.
man the
Okay. I answer within the 10 seconds and you guys expect more. So I start to
You
answer
guys.
more. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, too much time. Okay, fine.
Okay, what's the long answer? What is the long answer?
No,
the audience
there
is
is no
here.
long answer.
They
I
asked
answered
for
it.
you here.
No,
You give
it's
them
fine.
what they want.
It's fine. I'm good. I did it. I answered it. So
It's
take my
alive
answer
and
and
well
accept
and thriving.
it.
I say too many jump scares. All right, FLitZ from
Well, no one asked.
I made the game. I make the rules.
See, Joven gives his opinion, and then we're all supposed to agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay.
Well, because
hold on.
I skipped the question, so it's my right to interject my
You get
opinion.
8 lightning
No,
rounds?
you're
Yes.
right, it is a privilege.
Next up on Lightning
Hold
Round.
up. Hold
That is a
up.
theory,
Hold up.
guys.
No.
fighting.
It doesn't
We're
mean we
challenging
still
this.
love you.
Here's the thing. Are there a lot of jump scares in indie horror games today? Yeah, but you know what? There's also more indie horror games in general, which allows for a lot more variety and creativity.
Jump scares
so it's
are
all
a
balanced.
simple tool to get a fake scare out of you.
Sure, they are, but there are just as many quality horror games out there balancing out the
But
jump
if you
scares.
have just as many indie horror games making jump scare-esque games, then it's gonna, maybe dumb down the genre.
Knock knock, who's there? Well, if the consumer
It's an
wants
axe murderer.
if the consumer is asking for jump scares, like clearly we should provide them a jump. Like if that's what's popular and that's what people want to play, then give the people what they want.
That's like saying too many
well,
jump
okay,
scares,
you know,
like
a
saying
3-year-old
too
one-
many teenagers
Yeah.
get killed in Thor films.
I think
I
a 3-year-old wants to stay up until 10 o'clock at night eating all the candy. Is that a good idea?
That
The
is
3-year-old pays the parent for the ability to stay up late. Yes, that's called capitalism.
Okay, capitalism wins here on Unpopular Kids.
If a microtransaction, then we all win.
EA says no more microtransactions. Yeah,
a
right.
dollar for an extra life. Yeah.
Lightning
Finish that
round!
puzzle.
For FLitZ from @MilesEdwards63. Are you excited about Doctor Who Series 9? 10 seconds on the clock. Take it away.
I am excited about Doctor Who Series 9 because not only do they have a larger budget, but Arya Stark may be coming back as the granddaughter. and they are full of surprises, and they're knocking it out the park.
Boom. See? Good, precise answer in 10 seconds.
Better answer would have been no.
Oh! Nicole says no.
Snap,
Whoa.
crack,
That was a Pokemon snap.
On that note, lightning round! For Nicole, at the Geek Charlie says, with Disney now owning titles like Marvel and Star Wars, what do you think their next move will be?
Taking over a country would be the next most logical move. Then they
You mean
can
Anaheim?
an
Just seceding from
entire
the US?
and just
3 seconds.
get tax deductions. They won't have to. International law will apply. All country.
Yep, there's your 10 seconds, and I think you're actually right. They probably
I can
will
see
own.
it.
Disney does
They have
own
islands.
Anaheim.
They have
They
an
do.
island for
Yeah,
the cruise.
they own Anaheim.
They traded the Anaheim government to their Anaheim government wanted to like put taxes on Disneyland tickets or something like that, and Disney's like, no, how about we just build an extra park? And hence Star Wars Land was born. True fact. True fact.
True
That's not a
rules.
theory. It's just a fact.
That is a fact about Anaheim. I guess Anaheim fact.
Theories about every city in California. Let's go.
At Mr. Monkey Man 77 for Matt Rob.
That's mine. Name.
Yep.
Jose, well, I can't. No.
Says, have you
way.
gotten any hashtag breast threats? But the real question is,
callback.
if you could
Yeah.
mix any two universes, what would they be? 10 seconds on the clock. Go!
Whoa, double question.
Oh man, breast threats? No, thankfully. Please don't. And two, any two universes. I mean, the obvious one is to mix the MCU and the DCU.
There you go. That is the obvious answer and a great answer. Wrapping up lightning round here on Unpopular Kids. Woo!
You did it, I guess. Yay!
You answered correctly,
All right,
apparently.
great. I'm the only
I
one
did
that got it
not.
right.
So.
When I was going through the tweets, someone used the hashtag and I saw it and they said, why don't you put up an actual timer on lightning round? And the answer is because who cares if it's 10 seconds? I'm just like counting along in my head. It might be 10 seconds.
And
It's
anybody that
fine.
knows Joven knows he can't count.
No,
Can't count, no.
I talk as well as I speak. I mean, I count as well as I talk.
I'm good.
You know that.
All right,
That's good.
today on Unpopular Kids, the big question is, video games, are they better than movies? I say yes. We have stuff like Until Dawn just came out for the PlayStation 4. We have games like the Uncharted franchise, which has its
French
fourth
fries.
installment this year.
French fries.
The entire franchise of Uncharted is literally like watching an exciting movie. Until Dawn was less game, more movie. The Order 1866 game this year.
1886.
1996.
1996.
Order 18.
Just hackers.
Anyways, like that
1766.
game was reviewed poorly because it was like, there's no game here. It's just watching a movie. Is that a bad thing? Look at movies these days. They're kind of getting worse and video games are getting better.
All right, good night, everybody.
That's it. There we go.
Episode over and done.
So, okay, MattPat, not only do you have game theories on the Game Theorist channel, but you also have film theories.
Yes.
And so this is a realm that you do know well, and you can break down a good movie.
Yep.
How do you feel about video games that are becoming more of a theatrical experience versus an actual movie is?
Well, I think it's great, and honestly, as you're seeing, I feel like you're seeing movies trying to be more and more like video games, right? So it's one of those things where I just had a brain fart, so that's what happened with me. Honestly,
It's the best.
right? It happens all the damn time. I did not expect that to happen. No, so what I say is this: I think the beauty video games are a beautiful merging of an experience that an author or a director creates, but then also allowing the audience to become a part of that experience, right? So you bring up Until Dawn, right? Where now all of a sudden I get this beautifully crafted world that the game developers have made, but I also get to take part in it and decide like which pathway would I choose.
Has anyone else here actually played Until Dawn or been able to watch any of the Let's Plays?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
I mean, I think it's the best choose your own adventure experience that a video game has done so far. I think that it takes all the things that we've seen so far in the Heavy Rains, in the Left 4 Deads, all these awesome cinematic moments and these kind of nods to film and puts them in one awesome little package that you can then control. And everything that you do in the game has certain aspects. I mean, FLitZ and I are both comic book fans. We would play Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And the cool thing of Marvel Ultimate Alliance is it's a long I guess you could call it an action side scroller. What would you call that?
It's a
top-down RPG.
It's
kind of an RPG.
But the cool thing about those
Action
games
RPG.
is that literally at the end, once you 100% it, you will see all of the changes that you made in the game affect everything else, right? If you decided to save this person, this happens. If you decided to kill this person, these things happen. That experience in every aspect of the game, I think, is awesome. I think Until Dawn has really nailed it. And the best part of it is you can do these Let's Plays, and for the first time ever, it almost feels like you're watching a cinematic experience. I care less about the gamers that are playing it, more about the actual game, which is insane.
It's almost very much the opposite of why you go to YouTube when you watch a video game video.
Sure.
Because normally it's like the personalities that you're coming for, and you see the game all over. But a game like Until Dawn, I was like, shut up, let me watch this game happen.
Yeah, it's becoming less about, ooh, let's see how funny I can be about this dumb game, and more like, this is Mystery Science Theater, which is what I always thought that the future of gaming on YouTube should be, because that's what I grew up with. And I want it to be what I want.
Well, I think there's, right now it seems like Sony is just on top of it with games like Until Dawn or the Uncharted franchise. I think there's one company that's always made very cinematic experiences, just overall amazing stories, and that's BioWare, and I know Nicole can agree with me on that.
BioWare's alright. I mean, I played like I don't know, half a game of theirs. I don't know. No, but real talk, BioWare does an amazing job, and they're not actually very cutscene heavy. I mean, Dragon Age Inquisition had quite a few cutscenes, but they weren't very long. Mass Effect series didn't have very long cutscenes. SWTOR and KOTOR, those go back, and hardware back then really couldn't support super cutscene heavy games, so you didn't really see that as much.
So would you say that BioWare games are maybe not necessarily a theatrical experience, but just an amazing story in a video game?
Yeah, I think it's less cinematic and more narrative.
Okay.
And I feel like the two complement each other really great. Another studio, Naughty Dog, their games, Uncharted obviously, but also Last of Us, their games are also, it's telling a story, and that's what games are. And I feel like Until Dawn does something really cool in that it's this choose your own adventure video game. But I feel like we're also giving it like a ton of credit, it makes it sound like it invented the wheel here.
It did.
Like it's a video game where you make choices and then you watch them unfold.
Yeah, but it's done
In
in
a-
an
it's done
80s
in a
horror
really
background,
way.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I see it like I grew up reading choose your own adventure books, and those are my favorite books to read. And I think it's one of those things where you're seeing technology embrace the things that some of us really enjoyed as children. It's maybe not so much is one better than the other as is this the evolutionary step that we may have brought on. You think about radio, then radio to video, then video to speakies, and then speakies into color, and to now this speakies, that's what they called movies after they started adding talkies. Yeah, speakeasies. But it's and it shows where film seems to be hitting their roof, video games are pushing through, and movies are learning and experiencing. It's the cycle. It's the cycle, and video games are now at the top of. Yeah, it is, and they're at the top. They're sitting at the top of the food chain, constantly growing. Where films may have hit their apex with 3D.
Well, see, but here's the thing, right? I think you're right. I think it's these two mediums evolving, but they're evolving into something that is neither movie nor video game, right? Because for as much as I like Until Dawn, do I classify that as a video game in a traditional sense? No, not at all, right? I'm not, like high action the whole time, not high energy the whole time. It's a very like narrative-driven experience, like you were saying. Movies, on the other hand, you have like the VR experiences, the 3D experiences, the 4DX experiences, where now I'm in this world and I'm kind of choosing the story in the world around me that I want to follow. So there is this weird fusion of the creative, artistic vision that the director has created, be it in the video game or in the movie, and the user experience. And it's this interesting crossing of these two worlds that is unlike anything. It doesn't really fit into the definitions that we currently have.
It's because it makes it, the difference between the film and the video game experience is, because the experience is built around you and your decisions, it makes it yours. The movie is the movie, and you'd be like, this is my favorite movie, but this is my experience, and I am living in this and sucked into this world.
But that's really what it comes
right
down
now.
to. What we're marketing now is not a film, it's not a TV show, it's not a video game, it's an experience.
Yes.
It's always going to be an experience. That's why, when theaters needed to fight back against piracy and torrents, torrents, they're like, okay, well, 3D. You can't get really that kind of 3D experience at home. San Andreas is a perfect example. They went on this roaming tour of the rumbling cage seats or whatever that you could sit in, right? It's all about the experience. It's all about this crazy circus big top show, and that's what video games are becoming. It's not about the video game, it's about the experience you're having.
But we also live in a world where we don't need to have one kind of movie or one kind of video game, and it doesn't really matter
rom-com.
how you define it. I mean, rom-com is obviously the perfect movie, but
I agree.
but I mean, we live in a world where we don't need to define those things. Eventually, you're at a point in your month. You're going to want to have a very passive experience and watch a movie, and
But
you're going to
in
want to watch the Mad Max experience in 4D, and then you're going to want to play a game like Halo where it's just you playing.
But when it
or
comes
you
to
play something
movies,
narrative.
though, you get words like formulaic, or like formulaic movies happen all over the place. Fatigue is being tossed around with different movie franchises constantly now.
That's franchises, not the movie as an experience.
But then again, when it comes to this experience, you're only having an experience for 90 minutes to 2 hours. Whereas a video game, your experience is going to last for maybe 10 hours,
It's
up
like
to 60
tantric,
hours.
right? It's like tantric.
Yeah, you just enjoy it the entire
Yeah.
time.
So that's
10
one
hours.
word. But no, but you're also paying for a 90-minute experience and with a video game.
Okay, Matt, Rob, and
amount of
I
years
just,
to go into a video
we
game.
just went to go see the Visit, and we went to a specific theater that was a nice experience. You got to eat food at the same
I
time.
pick theaters,
Yeah, I pick.
which we love,
We
by
love
the way.
it.
When I go
If we're
to
gonna see a
movies,
crappy-
I choose
I
movies.
choose-
with
Yeah,
I
if we're
pick
gonna go see a
theaters.
crappy
Yeah.
movie like The Visit, we want to see it at iPick. It was a great experience. But was that experience worth this 90-minute movie?
But you paid for the experience of what? Comfy seats and rad food?
Yeah, amazing.
Rat food? I didn't eat any rat food, girl.
That's amazing.
Rad food.
It was
gnarly
gnarly
food,
guys. Gnarly food.
Yes, but that's what you pay for that experience. You pay for
Yeah, and you got that.
right. Everything is just a level up, right? ArcLight gives you, and AMC gives you the ability to choose your
ArcLight
own
has
seats.
real butter.
That's a thing.
I don't know.
That's
I
fine.
prefer the fake butter myself.
I like
just
real
saying.
butter.
Fake butter all the
I
way.
can't believe
Artificial
it's
butter,
not.
I think-
dude.
All butter's bad.
A
butter.
strong comparison here to be made is when you look at a book to a movie.
Sponsored by butter.
Sponsored by
Sponsored by butter.
ArcLight,
When you look at a movie based on a book is always 100% going to be better.
False.
No,
False.
every time.
Absolutely
Name one
wrong.
movie outside of Jurassic Park that was better
Whoa,
than
the book was great.
Harry Potter 5.
Yeah.
That's always my go-to example. I hated the book. The movie cut all the fat and was brilliant. That's a controversial, unpopular opinion. That's the point.
Oh, there you go.
That's the point of the show.
98% of the time, a movie is going to be worse than the
No,
book.
not true. Furious 7.
There's no book.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The novelization of Furious 7 was
It's
way better.
Jane Austen did an amazing job.
Yeah,
with
she
it.
did a really good
That was
job.
one of her best.
Those fight scenes.
Oh my god. And
The
then
BBC
still fell in
miniseries
love.
of Pride and Prejudice. I don't know. That stands
At
pretty
the
strong.
end of the day, your experience in a movie is only going to be so long, and you have very little control over it. Whereas a movie like Until
that's
Dawn is
okay.
your story.
A game like Until Dawn is your story. I mean,
a game.
It's a different experience. It's a different type of experience, right? Like, one, you go in and you commit the 60 hours, the 20 hours, the 100 hours, whatever it is. A movie is a very different thing. I'm committing 2 hours, I'm committing 3 hours there, it's done. I've experienced it. It's
Dawn's
a different
approximately
type
9
of
hours.
entertainment. If I'm going to a 4DX movie experience where the seats are gonna shake and stuff's gonna fly into my face, that is a very different
That's
movie
more
experience.
of a gimmick than experience.
Hold up.
Hold
Let the
up.
guest
Hold
finish his
up.
damn thought.
First off, it's not a gimmick.
Not a
like,
gimmick.
I loved The Maze Runner.
Tell 'em.
And I am so excited
Wow,
to see
unpopular
Scorch Trial.
opinion.
I know.
kidding.
But I
This
saw it in
guy.
a 4DX experience because the movie itself was cheesy, but I liked it because the seats were rumbling, and when like the little scorpion creatures were attacking the hero, my back was getting like punctured because that's what it was.
That was
the
a 10-year-old
You're
kid
right.
behind
Yeah.
you.
But it's
Good
your
on your theory.
experience
Here's from
at a Universal theme park ride. Like, oh, it's spraying air in my face when the
Sure.
Beatles are attacking.
And
There's
that
a
is
reason why there's
and that is
millions of dollars pumped into those every year. People
And they've
go
been around
over
for like
and
30
over.
years.
Yeah,
Right.
more.
It
1,000
It is
years.
a different type of theater experience. You know,
It-
but
it is an experience, but is a video game better than a movie when it comes to an experience?
No.
It's just
Not
different.
necessarily- it's
Is
different
video
types of
better than
things.
is
People
better
are
than movies?
people, so why
yeah.
should it be?
Sometimes-
You guys should get along so
Joven,
fully.
sometimes you feel like just vegging out on the couch and letting it pour over you, right?
Yeah.
And just like, I want to witness this as it is, and I'm just gonna enjoy the movie
The
experience.
Flashdance.
Yeah, sometimes I actually want to be an active participant in it,
Yeah,
and I
true.
want to be in the moment, playing the game,
Yeah,
making
you can't
the
really play a
decisions
game like
myself.
Until Dawn passively.
You can't play any video game really passively unless it's automatic Mario Mario Maker. You know, where it
Or
plays
any
itself.
Lego game.
Or
any of the mobile games I may play and let play themselves while I walk around because I finished the stage already.
So there's some.
Smash Brothers let the amiibo train itself.
Play that.
Earn me some drill seeds.
my grapes. We have some awesome unpopular opinions about that, but I want to move on here in the show to our next topic, which hit the news this week. Actually, it hit the news this week a second time. The producer of our favorite movie this year, Fantastic Four, not our favorite movie. It was horrible.
Also not a
seen it.
secret. I don't know who you're whispering to.
Oh, that's true.
Pretty sure we're all very
But
vocal.
the producer of Fantastic Four is focused on making a sequel with the same cast.
Maybe he's trying to redeem himself.
Well, you know what? Here's your unpopular opinion from me for the week. I think this is a great idea. Here's when it came to the first Fantastic Four movie, it was a horrible movie. It was an incomplete movie. It was hardly a movie. If you need more explanation on that, I have a video on this channel. Go check it out.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug on my own channel.
On your show.
Still makes it shameless.
But
Doesn't make it any better.
I
right,
did
own
get
it,
really
buddy, own
excited in Fantastic Four at the very end of the movie where they
When it
finally
ended.
came together.
When
Yes,
the
when it
credits came.
ended.
Oh, my favorite part when it ended.
I'm like, yes, they're a team. Now go be a team. Like, this should have been the halfway point of the movie. So I say, yes, you can have a second chance with the same cast because they did a good job. Give me a Fantastic Four movie that I deserve. How about you guys?
Absolutely not.
No, there you go.
Hell no.
Kill him off, give us Future Foundation.
Yeah,
I'm
or
good.
just retcon the whole thing and go back to the 60s. This is the thing I said in the previous episode. That's what it should be. It should be the 60s, a family of like galaxy traveling adventures.
That would be
But
amazing.
it's too,
Thank you.
it's too
That would be
soon
really
to
amazing.
redo it. I mean,
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, at least
Well,
that was like
Spider-Man, there was a
few years.
Yeah, there was a good few years.
It's been a
No,
few
I'm
months.
talking about the new one. They're putting out another one. Like Amazing
okay.
2 was
yeah,
last year. They're
yeah.
putting out a new one.
They
again.
hired like
Okay,
a
that's
5-year-old
too
to
soon.
play him too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like he's like a
But
little baby.
Amazing 2 was really bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It was really bad. It was no Fantastic Four because now everything looks like an amazing superhero movie in comparison to Fantastic Four.
Because this wasn't this was a bad like Interstellar movie. Fantastic Four was not a superhero movie. It was a bad like a bunch of kids get drunk and go to a different dimension and then shit happens. Like it wasn't a superhero movie at all.
I mean, the IP
wasn't a
is
movie.
incredibly popular. The actors
Is it
are.
incredibly popular? It
It's
has now
not pop-
failed 3 times.
Okay, but the IP is popular.
The
You can
IP
say
is
Fantastic Four to
popular.
9 people in the street, and those 9 people know what you're talking
They're
about.
Yes.
fantastic, and there's 4 of them. I know enough.
Yeah.
And
It's in the name, bro. It's in the name.
It's
But
the
like-
fireman, the rock guy.
Yeah.
No, you
Fireman!
expectations are so
Hollow bitch,
low.
stretchy guy.
Oh, bitch.
Sorry.
Wow.
I was referring to the guy.
Okay,
Hollow
well, then
man,
it's
hollow
okay.
bitch.
Then it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, but I'm just saying that
That's
the
stretchy bitch.
expectations are
Sorry. Incredible.
stretchy,
Wow.
bitch.
Stretchy bitch. Yeah, you know, Mr. Incredible.
Good night, everybody. It was a great show.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Go ahead. Say your
Anyway,
thing.
I'm just saying that expectations are really low. That they're in a good position to make people enjoy it more if they're not expecting a lot.
You know what I want?
Keep the
I
bar
want a
so low.
Fantastic Four movie that someone actually wants to make.
Yeah.
Because here's the right. Because every time they've rolled out the Fantastic Four franchise, it's always because if we don't make a movie, we lose the rights to it, and
Every
they go
time.
back to Marvel.
Every time.
Every single time.
Funny you
That'll
should say
never
that, Matthew,
change.
because Tommy Wiseau has offered his
Oh, yeah.
name. He definitely wants to make the sequel. He has gone on public record by saying, like, I'll do it, whatever. Like, he totally wants to do it. He's super excited. How great would The Room director presents Fantastic Four 2 or 4, depending on how you look at it. It'd be great.
That'd be
It'd be
amazing.
such a nightmare, but it'd be so good.
Oh, it'd be great.
They should just, honestly, accept it and be like, you know what, we're just going to train wreck it, but we're still adhering to the rules.
Right.
We're making our
We
movie.
still made our Fantastic
Yep.
Four movie.
I think they should
Absolutely.
absolutely do it
I
that way.
feel like that's pretty unlikely. Yes.
No.
Yeah, pretty unlikely.
You're trying to give basically the Uwe Boll of a American. Where is he from?
I don't think he has a country.
Yeah, see?
From everywhere. From humanity.
There you go.
Really, when it comes down to news and it's like, oh, hey, they want to make another Fantastic Four movie, you kind of like,
just
But
give
the
us future.
big news from the week, which I'm very glad happened the same week we brought MattPat on, there's a new Five Nights at Freddy's game. Right.
Yeah. Who saw that coming? Oh, there he is! Oh my gosh, it's jump scare on the podcast. Yeah, what is it? What is it?
So it's Five Nights at Freddy's
There.
World. Now, the article doesn't give us a lot of information, but it does tell us
Scott
that
doesn't give
the
us a lot of
God, yeah,
Yeah.
that's from the source.
from the source, no information. But it does not continue the story anymore. The story is absolutely done. And if you want the conclusive, all true fact story of Five Nights at Freddy's, you obviously go to MattPat. because he knows all things about Five Nights at
broke into
Freddy's.
Scott Cawthon's house.
I did.
Opened up his brain.
I did open it up. I have thought far too much about fictional animatronic robots, my friends.
So,
far too much.
talk to us about this. Are you excited because you think that the series, the franchise is good?
Well, first of all, they're pivoting. This is not going to be another Five Nights game. This is a RPG.
Yeah, I think that's an important detail to
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
here. Is it's a completely different thing. It takes the Five Nights at Freddy's characters and puts them into an RPG setting. And so Scott, in his little blog post,
I
forum
thought you were going to
post,
say infinite wisdom, and I was going
in his,
to argue with that.
in his godly wisdom, has said you basically create your party from all the favorite animatronics, phantom animatronics, endoskeletons. Basically, any character who's appeared in these games is a playable
I
character.
hear you talking, and I feel myself getting filled with rage.
Because you're going to be forced to play it on Smosh Games.
Yeah. That's how YouTube works. You want it so bad, no matter how much of a pile of it is, we'll play it for you.
Was that
If it's
horse
so
move?
bad,
Yeah.
why is it making so much money?
Well,
People
it's
keep playing it so much.
not bad, but it is
People just
bad.
complain about it a lot. Like I don't understand.
I think it's this weird kind of like topple effect of Schadenfreude. I think it's like people will watch Markiplier, Pewdie, Smosh Games play the thing and be like, "Oh, I'm so scared, it's so scary." Sorry, sound guy. And and they will go, "Oh man, I should try this game. It looks really really like spooky, scary." And then they'll buy it and then be like, "Oh, it's garbage." But they'll just keep doing it. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm kind of in the same place as you. I understand it has a place in this world. I understand why it exists. I understand what it has. But I think that there's kind of a rich backstory to it. There is kind of a universe there that he has created inadvertently, I will admit.
Or does he just have all these holes in a story that people like MattPat very well fill in those holes, and then all of a sudden it becomes fascinating.
I'm good at filling holes, man. I'm good at filling
You
holes.
did it.
Thank you.
Here's my number
Thank
one
you.
complaint with this. You know what? Okay, Scott, you made a great franchise that's made a ton of money. Branch out. Don't suck on the same teat that is Five Nights.
Why? It's not dry
Kojima
yet.
does it.
He is branching
Yeah.
out.
His
It's an
story is
RPG.
making
Oh, it's an
now.
RPG using the same. But it's just taking the same. It's like the Resident Evil movies. It's just taking the name and these characters and then putting them in a
those
different
never
world.
make
But he's
Yeah.
actually connected to it, though. That actually matters.
Yeah, he was killed
Like-
in a Freddy Fazbear.
I'm saying if you're going to make a
Story.
role-playing game, you've now made a successful franchise. Go make another game with new characters.
Dude, that's not easy. The
He's
guy has played
literally
4 games
selling
inside
an
of a year.
RPG by utilizing
He's
the name
established
Five Nights.
IPs.
He's not doing anything so different from Minecraft.
And like,
Well, no, he's making a different game. Well, Minecraft has the story, but at least that is still in the realm and universe of Five Nights at Freddy's. He's now making
So is
an
Minecraft. If you want to
Yeah.
compare this to the Minecraft story, so is that. He's just utilizing a different. Mahjong is just using a different platform and a different developer to create.
Yeah, but it's in the same universe.
So is
this
this.
is.
it's just a different story.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have these characters in an RPG that it's
Yeah, but
not the
they're-
same thing.
They're animatronics. They could be 2 of them. Oh my god, how many are there?
Well, it's gonna be
You've
an MMO. Is it MMO? We don't know. If it's
We don't know if
MMO.
it's an, when I saw
just
FNAF,
hundreds of Bonnies.
Wait, right? When you see FNAF World, I was expecting like World of War FNAF or something like that, where it's an MMORPG.
Which would be so awesome.
Right? Which would be pretty cool.
That needs to be a thing.
See, I heard that and I honestly thought he's made enough money that he's making a theme park.
No, I
That's
think
what
the
I thought.
game's gonna be
That
a
would
theme
also
park.
be very cool. Like,
It'll be like
FNAF
Itchy and
World,
Scratchy World, an
absolutely.
episode of The Simpsons.
That's be
franchise that.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
be-
I would go to that like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
with the Halloween season upon us, I'm surprised no one has bought the rights to
Upon
a
us?
haunted maze of Five Nights at Freddy's, just like in, was it FNAF 3?
Who bought the movie rights to
FNAF
it?
3. Yep.
FNAF 3.
Was it Universal? It was either Universal or Fox.
Someone
If
bought
Universal
the
did it, they
rights.
could do it at Halloween Horror Nights
Yeah.
easy.
That's true.
might
They
be
have
Universal.
this is the
And they would
themed house this
and
year.
they would bring in such a perfect balance of young crowd
Yeah,
who
it's-
love it and get it, and then the older crowd who have no idea
are
what the
just
heck to
gonna be scared of
expect,
creepy
and they'd be
things
freaked out.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
either
then,
way.
scared by that,
start
walking
talking
through.
about it and start generating hype
That's money.
for the
It's-
movie.
That's dripping money.
Hey,
Well,
right?
with the
Marketing
There you go.
team right here.
Look at that.
There,
You guys
there
did
it
it.
is. Right.
Stop doing this. What? Dr. Doomsday. Nothing else.
Speaking of Universal having the rights to the movie and maybe propaganda for the movie, an advertisement for the movie.
Propaganda.
I call it propaganda. I don't
Propaganda.
want to call it marketing at this point in time because now it's just brainwashed to get you to play more games, and now an RPG based off of a franchise that doesn't deserve an RPG.
Five
Just-
Nights at Freddy's.
I think
I
he
will say
understands
I am
franchises.
fascinated by the idea of the RPG elements though, because now you're playing as the animatronics. He's already confirmed that your party consists of like Golden Freddy and the Phantom animatronics and all this stuff. So who are you fighting in this?
Kids.
Are you like are you literally
children.
going and like
Well, that's
killing
why I
kids
think it's
here, or like
Park.
take down the final boss is
What
like
is
purple
Scott
guy or
literally?
something like
What
that?
is the Pied Piper of like the internet generation, where he's just bringing everyone along? He's like, I got you, and there's gonna be this messed up thing that gets into your head.
It's great. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, from the other point of view, is a stealth game. So I could see where it is. The animatronics, they're stealthy.
I'll give you
it's
that.
a
You know
stealth
what? If
game.
you really want to stretch the
you
definition
flip
of
it
a
on-
stealth game, yeah, that's right.
You heard it here first. Five Nights at Freddy's
From the other
equals Metal Gear Solid.
Basically
you see
said that a few
Snake
minutes
like
ago.
creeping around in the box.
And when Freddy's coming around, he just gets under the bar. That's a crossover game I want to see.
That would be awesome.
Anyways, guys, but that's been all the unpopular opinions of news topics this week.
Your unpopular opinions. These have
yeah.
been all of my unpopular opinions this week.
But we talked about the marketing for a movie coming out, which brings me to our next and new segment on the show called Make It Work. JT in the booth is like, I don't have a bumper for this
can't
because
make
you
it work.
guys haven't sent it to us yet. If you guys like this segment, tweet it. Tweet us your ideas to hashtag Unpopular Kids, your bumper for Make It Work. In this segment, we're going to take a movie idea, in this case, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because we don't know a lot about it. So I would like to know our opinions on how to make that movie work.
Joven, for a franchise you don't like that much, you seem to be talking about it a lot on this episode of Unpopular
We're not
Kids
doing
for
that.
Shameless
Throw to the
View
Five Nights
clipping.
commercial.
Shameless View. Oh, I hate this franchise. I hate it. I hate it.
You know what,
Give me those
just for
views,
my
snap
integrity
views.
alone, we will name this movie. The title of this video will not have Freddy or Five Nights in the title anywhere.
Well, that would be
will it
poorly
matter?
optimized.
But we'll say, let's just say MattPat.
And then it would be misleading titles. Flagged.
All right, so make it work. MattPat, you're a fan of the franchise. How do you make the movie work?
Honestly, I think you take the world that Scott has created, the haunted pizzerias, the haunted animatronics, possibly a serial killer, and you make the movie based on that. I do not think that you retell the lore of these games and you avoid kind of the purple guy, you avoid these murders, this mysterious backstory. You have to take the setting and craft a new story around it.
Ooh, that's a gamble.
It's a gamble.
Especially something that is so strong with the fans.
It's true, but that's exactly the reason why. If all of a sudden you have like, oh, here's the phone guy who doesn't actually make an appearance in the movie. It's just weird. It's a weird.
That's true.
It's a weird set of characters to translate into a movie setting. But the setting itself of these games is fantastic. And so if you take that world and make a whole new kind of story around it, that's great. But if you try to translate all of these like essential elements of FNAF into an actual movie, you're gonna end up the fans are gonna be disappointed because it's not gonna be what they expect. And just as a movie, it's gonna be lame because, oh, it's phone guy, and that's a weird thing to have, or like, oh,
It's my opinion why we shouldn't have a Legend of Zelda movie.
right. It's a similar idea to that, I think. Where Zelda, again, you have this amazing world that you've created and this amazing lore, but you can take it and spin it off into other things. You don't want to retell the story of Link's Awakening or Link to the Past or things like that.
There you go. FLitZ, how would you make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie work?
As a person who is not scared by scary games, I would have to say,
Well, you would be if it was just cockroaches, the game.
I would. I'm just gonna I'd poop on myself. Honestly, taking the idea of because I don't know about the animatronics in Five Nights at Freddy and how they got there. So you make it takes place in a world where AI becomes sentient and it's out of control. It's waking up and it learns cruelty, and it learns cruelty from watching kids be bad to each other.
I like
and
that.
then when it wakes up, it starts to do the cruel things and kill because it's what it learns and it's what it knows.
So you
it's
take
that
the terror
artificial
of children.
intelligence.
FNAF.
Nice.
Chappie meets
Yeah, I see. I didn't
I
finish
am
Chappie,
Chappie.
but yeah. So the animatronics, the genius design that whoever Freddy, I guess, came up with it goes haywire and they just start killing all sorts of people.
I like it. Two great ideas so far. For me, I'm gonna say, as a fan of horror
This
movies.
isn't about you. We should go to Nicole.
As a fan of horror movies, a really big fad is like your found footages. And when you do a found footage movie, it's always based like, okay, Monday this happened, Tuesday this happened.
Not
the
true.
Third night,
Literally,
fourth
the
night.
movie we saw the other day did that. but most
No,
movies don't do that.
pretty much all of the Paranormal Activity. Those all get broken down by days.
should
Or
derail.
the classic horror movie, Amityville Horror, broken day by the nights that they were there. It's been used in horror movies for years
Why do
and
you
years.
think you put it in the game?
Well, okay, so we should break down the movie the same way. So you have your night 1, night 2, night 3, however
Just a
many
Netflix
nights we get.
series, 5 episodes long.
5 episodes, just Netflix series. Hey, you say that for your own idea.
No, I got a
but
way
then
better one, brah.
so you take your 5 or 6 days and you break it down by your 3 acts, and then it really just all boils up to your giant climax at the end of the movie where the guy who's working the job is like, okay, strange things have been happening. No one believes me. All of a sudden, they're trying to kill me, and then that's the end of the movie.
So it's Paranormal Activity, but set in a pizzeria.
Yes.
And instead of ghosts, you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paranormal Fredtivity.
Hashtag.
Nicole, you're up. How would you make it
Okay,
work?
so it's sunset. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's a cold December eve.
No. Okay, so we're at a pizzeria, a Chuck E. Cheese-esque place. Some teenagers break in the middle of the night. They think it's funny. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna play all the games when no one's around. The kids go into the ball pit. You know how your mom always says, "Don't play in the ball pit. There could be needles in there." Okay, no one's mom said that.
No.
No one's mom
What
said
the heck neighborhood Chuck E. Cheese are they going to?
Okay, you do not go in the ball pit at McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah, don't go to the ball pit where, heroin addicts shoot up, I guess.
Great advice. You're right.
So if
okay.
I was into heroin, a great place to do it would be.
So many
So the kids,
Melting.
the teens are playing in this Chuck E. Cheese-esque place, this Five Nights at Freddy's, and the one kid falls into the ball pit. He tries hiding from the other kids. I don't know why I'm showing you how he's falling in the ball pit.
You're really into this.
For the
And
people,
It's helping me
for the people
visualize.
listening on SoundCloud, they're so confused by
okay,
your
it's okay. I'll get back onto this. And so he's hiding, and the other kids disappear. And when he's in there, he feels that he gets a needle stuck into him.
As you
and,
find in ball pits.
and he's like, oh my, what is this? It must be heroin. And so he thinks he's having like he's hallucinating. He doesn't know what heroin does. He thinks he's hallucinating. He doesn't know what's going on, and these creepy things start happening. He hears screams, and he sees things move, and he sees blood. But all these like typical horror movie things start happening.
Because of heroin.
But he thinks it's because of heroin, and then
It's actually because of plot
But
devices.
it's actually because, but actually, there's all the animatronics are evil ghosts who've come to life. We don't find that out until like 45 minutes in when he realizes.
Like Fantastic Four.
When he realizes it's actually
1 year
insulin.
later.
He actually got an insulin needle, and it's not heroin at all, and he hasn't been hallucinating.
But now he's a diabetic.
And now it's what a twist. It's M. Night Shyamalan leaning.
No more M. Night Shyamalan.
And it actually is. So he the first half of the movie, you think it's just in his head, and so you're not even that scared, and then you realize it's not in his head, and it's really happening. Don't play in the ball pit, kids.
That's what we get from that.
It's happened to all of us.
You brought that around nicely.
Play in the
Oh
ball.
man.
All right, MattPat. Wow.
Yes.
Sorry, too many
Yeah,
Matts
your
on
turn
the show.
again.
Steve Buscemi as the security guard.
Matt, go ahead and wrap us up here on Make It Work.
I'm
with
going to make
Five
it
Nights at
easy.
Freddy's.
I'm going strictly business. How better to boost a popular franchise than to attach it to a already existing franchise?
Smart.
The Scooby-Doo franchise has been doing plenty of things lately.
Actually,
They
really
just
good
hung out
idea.
with Kiss. They just hung out with the WWE, which is amazing, by the
Great
way.
episode.
Go find it. It's an amazing film.
Fantastic.
John Cena moves a boulder, and to the John Cena thing, it's amazing.
We did it.
How great would it be if the mystery team goes to a Freddy Fazbear's, antics ensue, and it's amazing. How great would it be?
And at the end, you find out it's just old man Scott.
Yeah, it's
That-
Scott. Oh, Scott, you were just doing this to make money for your mobile game. That's all it was, the whole time.
FNAF World.
Oh, man, we'll play it.
All right, guys. That's been Make It Work here on Unpopular Kids. Again, if you like the segment, let us know, and you can create your own bumper or ask us questions that we'll answer in lightning round. Just tweet us at hashtag Unpopular Kids. We don't care about at symbols or whatnot. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming by and watching today. Don't judge me. My words made sense this time.
We're judging with you, not at you.
MattPat, thank you so much for coming on. If you ever want to see a channel where the host speaks very well, check out his channel. Both of them. Game Theorist and Film Theorist.
Thank you, Joven. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. And guys, thanks for watching. Hey, we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.